Hello and welcome to DCN Weekly, your regular roundup of Australia's shipping, ports and logistics news. This episode is for the week ending 26th of September 2025. I'm Lindsay Reid, publisher at DCN.
And I'm David Sexton.
Well, if there's one thing that's dominated the week here, it's been the nomination deadline for the awards. We thought we had a fair few nominations, and then over Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, the floodgates have really opened. We're busy collating them now for the judging packs, but David, you've had a sneak peek. There's some pretty stiff competition this year.
Yes, I've started to have a look, and I have to say it's going to be a tough year.
Yeah, I think it will be. I'm quite pleased I'm not a judge, to be honest. Sorry, David. But yes, next Friday is the big day for the judging, so it'll be great to hear all of the discussion then. And one thing that we have been contacted about a little bit this week is the level of confidentiality surrounding the process. And I realise we haven't actually addressed this in the articles that we've put out about the awards. Thought I'd mention that now. So yes, absolutely, all judges are sworn to secrecy, not only on the outcomes, but also the submissions themselves. So case studies, testimonials, all that sort of thing is all for the judges' eyes only. And we certainly don't publish anything sensitive that forms part of the nominations.
Certainly not. It's a very secure system, and we are all on the same page when it comes to protecting any sensitive information.
Yeah. Certainly are. So aside from that, David, we have also reported on a bit of news this week.
Sure have, and probably one of the most read stories this week was around a people move, actually.
Yes, that's right. Karen Anderson, who was previously at the Port of Melbourne. What's her new gig?
Well, still very much in ports, just a different one. So Karen has been appointed chair of the Port of Hastings Corporation, taking over from Mark Toohey, who had been in an acting capacity. As well as Karen's appointment, a new board of directors was announced, and the full new board is detailed in our article on thedcn.com.au. The corporation welcomed Karen and her wealth of experience across both public and private sectors.
Yeah, that's great. Well, congratulations to Karen and to all the new members of the board on their appointments. And David, we spoke on our last podcast about CMA CGM absorbing the USTR fees on Chinese-built ships. Since then, Maersk has also joined them in this move.
Yes, the surcharges are due to take effect from 14 October. To recap, from that date, the US government will begin phasing in new service fees on maritime transport services of Chinese-owned and Chinese-built ships calling at US ports. These fees will be introduced gradually over the next 3 years. In a customer advisory this week, Maersk said it is committed to transparency and minimising disruption to supply chains.
So no surcharges from Maersk?
No, they've said no surcharges will be applied, and neither do they anticipate any changes to service levels.
So now Maersk and CMA CGM have made statements around this. What about some of the other lines?
Yes, well, both COSCO and OOCL have committed to business as usual in trades with the US, and there was a significant announcement from Seaspan on Wednesday.
Yes, they're making a pretty big change to their operations. What's the story there?
Seaspan has its origins in Canada, but it is operationally based in Hong Kong. However, from 1 October, Seaspan will move its headquarters from Hong Kong to Singapore and reflag some 100 ships from the former to the latter.
Okay, and so no reason has been given for that, it seems, but it would appear to be influenced by these new US trade policies. Well, moving on to other news, and climate predictions are again hitting the headlines this week. David, there was a new report released by TT Club that specifically honed in on the Pilbara.
Yes, that's right. The global insurer has warned ports and logistics operators they need to adapt urgently to climate change. Their new white paper lists Port Hedland and Dampier among the 50 most vulnerable ports in the world.
And what are the main risks there?
Yeah, the report points to more frequent and intense cyclones, as well as extreme heat and storm surges. Together, those threats put both infrastructure and workers under real pressure.
Okay, and there was a lot more to this report, obviously. NSW Port CEO Marika Kalfas is also quoted discussing the need for both climate adaptation and climate resilience, which she stressed are two very different things.
Yes, there's obviously a lot more on that in the story on the website, but essentially adaptation is the toolkit and resilience is the outcome, is how it's worded.
Yes, look, it's not comfortable reading, but read it we must. And staying with the climate, Port of Brisbane released their sustainability report this week. What were the key takes there?
Yeah, exploring alternative fuels, continuing land and catchment rehabilitation, and using more lower carbon and recycled products were the key themes of Port of Brisbane's 2024-25 Sustainability Report. In releasing the report, CEO Neil Stevens said Port of Brisbane could play a key role in leading the energy transition in Australian ports and logistics, but progress also required collaboration with customers, partners and community stakeholders.
Okay, and what were some of the other highlights?
Well, some of the other highlights included the newly released Vision 2060, an aspirational roadmap for the port in 2060. And there was also progressing the Channel Enhancement Project through the Environmental Impact Statement process, and then rehabilitating 1.65 hectares of highly valuable port environmental land.
Yes, they've achieved some great things, and the Vision 2060 is a particularly impressive project. And again, full details of all of those are on our website. So moving to our final story in this week's wrap, Aranui Cruises made an announcement this week.
Yes, Aranui is a bit of a different one in that the vessels are dual-purpose passenger and working cargo vessels, and this week they confirmed they're adding a second vessel.
Okay, so when's this coming into effect?
Yeah, the vessel is still being built at a shipbuilding facility in China, and the schedule hasn't been announced yet, but apparently it will be 2027.
It's such an interesting concept, combining cruise and cargo. How well equipped are the vessels for cruise passengers?
In short, very. The new vessel, the Aranoa, will accommodate 198 passengers across 93 cabins, most 62 with a private balcony. The ship will feature 2 restaurants, 2 bars, it sounds good, 2 spa pools, a boutique, a health spa, a fitness centre and a tattoo salon, in line for Aranui's first tattoo parlour at sea.
Oh, wow, a tattoo parlour? It lacks nothing then. Well, thank you for that, David. And that's it from us this week. Don't forget you can find these stories and more at thedcn.com.au. And if you haven't already, sign up to receive the Daily Newswire for daily updates.
Yes, and remember, please get in touch with any thoughts, suggestions or tip-offs. We'd love to hear from you.
Sure would. Thank you, David. That's all from us, and we will catch you next week.